Today we're discussing 7th grade, Chapter 7, Lesson 7, Solve and Write Two-Step Inequalities. Again, this is very similar to solving the equations that we practiced. And if you have a textbook at home, this is textbook page 568. Two-step inequalities have two separate math operations. So for example, this one has multiplication and it's adding 4. Two operations. So let's work it just like we would the equation. Remember, whatever you do to the left side, you have to do to the right side. And we're working this backwards, so it's PEMDAS backwards. We're going to undo the adding or subtracting first. So the opposite of a positive 4 is a negative 4. So negative 4 to both sides. And that makes these cancel because they're opposites. And the 3x comes straight down. The inequality symbol comes straight down, which is greater than or equal to. And then 16 minus 4 makes 12. Then we want to undo the multiplying by 3. So the opposite of multiplying by 3 is dividing by 3. The 3's cancel. X comes straight down. Greater than or equal to sign comes straight down, and 12 divided by 3 makes 4. Since it has an equal sign, that's the little equal sign, it gets a solid dot at the 4. And the variable is on the big side, so I want to shade the big side of the number line. The alligator is eating the variable. If the alligator is eating the variable, we shade the big side. This is the little side. Okay, example 2. 7 minus 2x is greater than 11. Okay, so we're going to undo the 7 first. The opposite of 7 is negative 7. When I do that, on the left side, they cancel, and all that comes down is negative 2x greater than, and 11 minus 7 is 4. Then we want to undo the multiplying by negative 2. So the opposite of multiplying by negative 2 is dividing by negative 2, which makes the 2's cancel. X comes straight down. But remember, if you divide by a negative, you have to flip the sign. If it's dividing by a negative, you have to flip. So now the alligator's going the other direction. 4 divided by negative 2 makes negative 2. There is no equal sign on this one, so we get an open circle. And the alligator is not eating the variable, so that means he's little. We shade the little side. Let's look at another example of a word problem that you have to write the inequality from. So, for number 3 here, it says Jeff bought a bottle of water for $2. He also bought some hot dogs for $3 each. Jeff did not spend more than $14 on the hot dogs and the bottle of water. Write and solve an inequality to determine H, the number of hot dogs that Jeff could have bought. Represent the solution on a number line. So we're not going to put it on a number line for right now. We're just going to write the inequality. So he starts with a bottle of water for $2. And then he's also means that we're going to add $3 for each hot dog. Each is a key word that means times. So 2 plus 3 times the hot dogs, and they didn't tell us how much the hot dogs were. They just said to use H. And then it's not more than 14. So it can't be greater than 14. It has to be less than 14. Could it be equal to 14? Not more than. Then yes, it could be equal to 14. So there's my inequality. Let's look at some of the problems you're supposed to be doing. You're going to be solving the inequalities. And on number 2 here, I see that it has a negative coefficient. That means you're going to be flipping the symbol here. The alligator will have to swim the other direction. I see another negative coefficient over here, which means you'll have to flip the symbol again. Let's go ahead and do number 2. So we want to undo the add or subtract part first. So the opposite of -3 or -3 would be +3, which makes the 3's cancel, and the only thing that comes down is -3x greater than 15. And then we want to undo the multiplying by -3. So we divide by -3 on both sides. The -3's cancel, x comes straight down. And since that was negative, we must flip the symbol. So the alligator goes the other direction. 15 divided by -3 makes -5. So our number line here will have to have a -5. And it doesn't show equal, so it has to be an open circle. And the alligator is not being eaten by the variable is not being eaten by the alligator. So that means the variable's on the little side. Shade the little side on the left.